Spring onions or scallions grown in the kitchen garden right on the tabletop. If you see, these are grown from the vegetable cuttings that I got. I purchased spring onion from the supermarket and I used up the leaves, and I had left only the roots in the water for a month. Every 2-3 days I used to change the water and it's grown like that. So using that, we are going to make this rice roti or akki roti. For this, I'm going to take one big onion. If the onions are small, we have to take at least 2 or 3 of them. It has to be chopped really fine. For this, I'm going to use a hand chopper, and I'm going to chop it. If you have a food processor or a blender, you could use that to chop it finely. It should not be ground, it has to be chopped finely. So this gives an awesome result when I use this hand blender. Like that, I'm going to cut all the onions finely and put it into a bowl. More the onions, greater the taste. Like this, I'm going to chop even the green chilies finely. So if you want it more spicier, you could add more, or if you want it milder, you could keep it less. You could as well put this into a blender and make it into a paste and put into this, so that you don't get it in the mouth when you're eating. But when it gets fried, you don't really feel the heat of it. So that is done, and now I have soaked chana dal for about half an hour. It's 2 tablespoons of chana dal soaked in water. I have added it along with the water and salt with it. Now I have used this spring onions. I'm going to cut everything and put it into it. I'm going to keep the roots just like earlier back in the water, so that it regrows. Usually this will regrow at least 2 or 3 times. So the amount of greens that I have got is 1 month's produce. So I'm going to finely chop this and put it into this. Now I'm going to add the main ingredient, rice flour. So I didn't have rice flour in stock, so I used the normal rice, soaked it in the water for about an hour, and then I dried it in a towel like this, so that the wetness in the rice goes away, and then I put it into a blender and made it into a coarse powder. So it did not become like a proper powder that we get in the store, but it was a coarse powder and it tasted good too. Now I mixed everything. You could add in like 1 or 2 teaspoons of water and make it into a dough that could be held together. It should not be too watery. Please note, it should not be too watery. And for a side dish, I'm going to make onion chutney. This recipe is also there in my idli video. Apart from chutney, you could use even chutney powder and put some oil and eat it. It will taste similar too. Now we will fry the chutneys. In oil, I have put some red chilies, onions and tomatoes, and 2 pods of garlic all together, and I'm going to fry this. Add some salt too. Once the raw smell of the onion goes away, you could get this to room temperature and put it into a mixie. Don't keep it till it becomes brown. And now I'm going to make a big ball out of the dough and start putting it in a cold tawa. This tawa should not be hot, so it should be a cold tawa, and start patting it and spread it towards the ends of the tawa so that it becomes a thin layer. Make it as thin as possible, and the dough should not be watery. If not, it will not spread. If it is too thick also, it is not going to spread. Use water to make this spreading on the tawa easier. Next, if you're making the second one, this tawa has to come back to a normal temperature, room temperature, before you could spread it. If it is hot, you will not be able to put your hands on it. So use a wet towel. You can make it on a wet towel and then put it on the tawa. Alternatively, you could use 2 tawas. One could be on the stove and one could be where you would be patting it into a roti. So that is another option that you could make use of. Here I have put this on the stove now, and I have spread oil on it. You could even spray oil and close it. When you close it, it will get cooked well. On the other side, the onion chutney is all done. I'll get it to the room temperature and blend it into a nice paste. We could also make this with dill leaves, with zucchini, carrots, grated coconut, methi leaves also. All this will taste good. You could keep onion as a base and put the rest of the ingredients and any one of the rest of the ingredients and make it yummy roti. Now the roti is all ready. So I'm serving this with the spicy onion chutney. It'll be kind of crispy. You could eat it without any side dish as well. Try this out and let me know how you find this recipe. For more recipes and travel videos, watch Roochis Town. Do leave a comment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Roochis Town. Thank you.